What's happening, YouTube? What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Spirit Lightbody. You already know what time it is, y'all. Alright, man. So today I want to get into some occult knowledge or whatever. I've been telling y'all this was coming along with a bunch of other stuff, man. Sorry I'm so unorganized, y'all, man. I always got a ton of shit going on, so sometimes it's a little wild, man. Like my grandma, she was 94. She just passed yesterday, man. So we got a funeral coming up in the next few days and stuff. So it's a lot going on, but I just wanted to try and get this knowledge in, with y'all real quick, and man, if y'all like these kind of videos or whatever, let me know, in the comments or whatever, and I'll go into more of this stuff, because this is the kind of stuff that I study, you know what I'm saying, in my little pastime and stuff. But y'all know I did the video a few weeks ago about race, you know what I'm saying? And I was like debunked. Well, I got some occult knowledge that kind of backs that up. You see what I'm saying? And so we're gonna get into that right now. So in case y'all don't know, if you ever hear me say H.P. Blavatsky, that's Helena Petrov Blavatsky. You can Google her or whatever. She'll come up. She's an occultist, like back in the 1800s or whatever. A highly intelligent lady, But again, she's an occultist. They give you a bunch of knowledge and truth, but then they throw in their little lies and stuff, still keeping you away from the ultimate truth. The facts like the earth isn't a globe, you see what I'm saying? It's a level plane, it's motionless, you see what I'm saying? Or aka the earth is flat, however you want to say it. And they're also keeping away from you, the fact, the great mother, the mother goddess, they keep that from you too. A lot of times they'll kind of redirect it to, oh, the father, blah, blah, blah. So I'll point that out some too. But anyway, though, so all right, here we go. So they talk about the root race, right? So the root race, root like the roots of a plant, like this is the origins, you see what I'm saying, the beginning. This is the root race is what they're talking about. They say it's a theosophical concept that refers to the successive evolutionary stages throughout which humanity goes its pilgrimage on our physical plane. In other words, our day-to-day lives that we're living, you see what I'm saying? This is us growing, and life it's like a test. You see what I'm saying? You can look at life like schools, like grades. There's gradation in the cosmos. You see what I'm saying? And when you pass one grade, you go to the next grade. So that's how it is here in life. We have many lessons to learn here. Okay, so then she states that 7 of such root races takes place before completing the evolution cycle on the earth. And then it actually says the globe in quotations, and then it says the earth. But she states in the first root race there was sexless ethereal beings that were devoid of understanding, language, or any cognitive activity. Come on, y'all. Really? I know you don't believe that shit. I mean, obviously, we know there's ethereal entities. Basically, these are spiritual beings, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have form. Like, they vibrate on a different frequency than what we do. So that's why most people can't perceive them. But some of us can actually perceive these entities. Like me, ever since I was young, I've been able to, somewhat perceive the spiritual realm, things that are unseen. I've always had, interactions with it. It's just it's in me, but I'll get into that later though. So it says here that she claims that they were produced by Barhisha Petris, and Barhisha Petris in Sanskrit is a word used to denominate a kind of father. It says, or ancestors of humanity. Now, again, y'all all know anytime we've ever seen something be birthed here in this physical dimension, you see what I'm saying? It always comes through the womb, the portal, the mother. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times, they like to hide that fact, because they want you to try to manifest, through the masculine, you see what I'm saying, through the masculine energy alone, and they know that you're not going to be able to manifest like that, so they keep the womb, the great mother, hidden from you, because that's how you manifest. That's how things are created here, you see what I'm saying? That's how things are birthed, you see what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's real shit. As above, so below, and so within, so without. But anyway, though, so after that, it says that that she claimed that they were produced by Barhisha Petris, who emanated ethereal forms from themselves. And then it says they are called the self-born and the Chaya race. Chaya being a Sanskrit word that means image or shadow, H.P. Blavatsky said that this race developed on 7 separate regions of an island position where the North Pole is now. That's big, which is referred to as the imperishable sacred island. Imperishable sacred island. Now remember that said where the North Pole is now. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna get into that again in a minute because this is huge. But I want to touch back on this real quick about the Barhisha Pictures. So these are lunar spirits. See, everything in our universe is electromagnetism. So the moon is magnetic energy. It's feminine in nature. The sun is masculine. It's electric energy. You see what I'm saying? So that's like when the sun rises in the morning, it comes around, then that electric energy hits you and like, oh shoot, time to get up, get out of the bed. You know what I'm saying? Oh, daddy's home, as Sanchez would say. And that the moon, when it comes into the sky, the magnetic energy, it magnetizes you to that bed. You see what I'm saying? Like, then you start getting tired. You know what I'm saying? It brings on a different set of energy. And so anyway, it says that these entities are called the self-born. Now keep in mind, like I said, this is a lunar being that is talking about the moon, the mother. Now think about this. It says self-born and the Chaya race. Chaya. So I was like, Chaya race. I started looking around and the only thing I could find that it equated to was life. In several different translations it came out to be like Chaya, child. In my mind, that's why, you know, why in my mind anyway, I may be wrong, but in my mind, that's what that's telling me. You see what I'm saying? The children, the child. You see what I'm saying? That's life. So it says the child race or whatever being a Sanskrit word that means image or shadow. You see what I'm saying? But like when I looked into that, I found something else. So again, like I said, when they're telling you this stuff, they're giving you what they want to give you. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there is truth to that, and I'll get into that later. But anyway though, so I just wanted to get y'all up to that. But check this out though. So okay, so we were talking about the separate regions of an island position where the North Pole is now. Now go look at any damn map with the North Pole. They got nothing but a bunch of ice there. You see these documentaries, oh yeah, we're at the North Pole, blah, 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 you know, it's nothing to see here, we've explored everything, you know, yeah, it's just a bunch of ice, you know, and a couple, you know, polar bears and penguins, you know, whatever. You know, like, nah, man, like, yo, there's way more going on than that, and these people know this. This shit is not a joke, it's really not a game, like, yo, this shit is fact. Alright. So it goes on to say that the first root race, the self-born, which are the astral shadows of their progenitors, and, you know, pretty much a progenitor, you know, like the parent, a creator, you see what I'm saying? Anyway, though. So it go on again to the imperishable sacred land. It says, now this land is known to have never shared the same fate as the other continents, because it is the only one whose destiny it is to last from the beginning to the end of the Manvartara throughout each round. And now, oh, you know what? I got it right here. A round, by the way, is a cosmic cycle of evolution in a planetary chain, according to H.P. Blavatsky. We'll get into that in the future. But anyway, though, so Manvantara, a Sanskrit word from a combo of words, Manu and Antara, meaning the duration of a Manu or his lifespan. H.P. Blavatsky calls it a period of manifestation. It is the cradle of the first man and the dwelling of the last divine mortal, chosen as a sistha, and then I put in quotation sister because I looked it up, pretty much is what it was. It says, for the future seed of humanity. She says, little is known of this land except perhaps, according to the poetical expression in one of the commentaries, that the pole star has its watchful eye upon it, Polaris, the stairway to heaven, from the dawn to the close of the twilight of a day of the great breath. Now the great breath is pretty much like expansion and contraction. So like you breathe in, expansion, contraction. That's what the sun and moon are doing around the North Pole, around the North Pole or whatever. Sun and moon stay across from each other. I've got plenty of pictures observing this, you know, literally that's what they do. And then pretty much Polaris, the pole star, it sits above the North Pole or whatever. So all the other stars, that's why you see in Star Trails, all the other stars circle around Polaris, and Polaris always is almost just stationary. I mean, it slightly moves a little bit, but it's not much. I mean, it stays stationed right there over that pole, exactly like she just said. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, and any real flat earther knows, man, that this shit, they're talking about Mount Meru. Now, anyway, I'll get into that in the future or whatever, but again, let's get back on topic right here. So again, we're still talking about the root races here. Okay, so this was under a title of Birth and Death. The origin of this ethereal race called the Self-Born was asexual, excuse me, and the race itself was sexless. Alright, y'all, what's up, man? Yo, phone acting crazy. It just cut me off where I was talking about them being, the entities being sexless or whatever. So, alright, we'll start that over. Okay, the origin of this ethereal race called the Self-Born, remember, the Chaya race, was asexual, and the race itself was sexless. No distinction between male and females. Now, the Chaya birth, or that primeval mode of sexless procreation, says a first race having oozed out, so to say, from the bodies of the lunar spirits. So basically, you have these spiritual beings. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, pretty much like how they show you the cell divides itself. You see what I'm saying? That's where they're getting this stuff from. You see what I'm saying? Like, and obviously, you know, I'm pretty sure certain things in science, they've been able to observe certain phenomena. But, you know, this stuff right here is very deep. Like, this is like the real actual origins of man. And remember, occult just means hidden. So this is knowledge that they hid from you, you know, see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's because people, you know, just, they feel like people can't handle it, you know, so they make these secret societies. Or if it's just that they just want to just rule over you and keep you dumbed down, and they have all the good shit to themselves. I don't know. But I got an idea, and I think y'all know too. But anyway, though, so it goes on to say, materials of the first form, shadowy, ethereal, and negative, was drawn or absorbed into, and thus became the complement of the forms of the second race. The first race was astral shadows of the creative progenitors. So pretty much what it's saying is that they're saying that these entities were shadowy. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can imagine like a shadow of, you know, like kind of like how they show you a ghost or whatever, you know, kind of like a gaseous plasmatic state or something like that, I imagine. You know, it's the divine substance where everything comes from. It's the, you know, part of the original source, this spirit, this consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Like, this consciousness is the creator of the sexes. And that's why I say that, like, you know, like, it's absurd that we put one another down as, oh, men or female. You know, like, nah, man, men, we should be giving our love and respect to the women because we have to come through them. That's the portal, man. You gotta respect that, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to, man, straight up. And so, you know, I'm just like, man, to me, this just goes to show that we all come from one source. So again, this is why I was saying that, hey, look, you know, I got the race debunked. And we'll get into some of this stuff in the future where they talk about the cosmic light. You see what I'm saying? The light, the sperm, the electric consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is real deep, man. Like I said, electromagnetism, man. Like, this stuff is powerful. This is, you know, this is where we come from. This shit is so powerful. It's beautiful, man. The creator is so amazing, man. So amazing, man. And so, yeah, that gives y'all a little insight into why I always say, you know, may spirit guide and protect you. You know, like the spirit of all that is, man. Like the true source of creation. You know, for real, man. So here, alright, so here it says that they say that their reproduction was accompanied by them dividing. Now, remember, dividing, look at that word, divine. You see what I'm saying? It's divine substance, dividing itself and expanding the consciousness. And this stuff, like I said, can be hand in hand with sacred geometry. And I'll show you guys some of that stuff later. And I think I did show you a little bit before, but we'll go into it again or whatever and show you this stuff in sacred geometry. So it's not like I'm making this shit up. I can back it up. You see what I'm saying? And they know that. That's why this occult knowledge, you know, they keep this stuff, you know, away from the quote-unquote average or common man, you know, so they believe you can't handle it. Bullshit. But anyway, though, So yeah, I think that's amazing that it says, you know, that they divide similar to that of the amoeba, you know, like that goes to show you, you know, like they know a lot of shit, man, and they'll sit up here and tell you, oh, we don't know how so we can't figure out so. Nah, man, there you got a ton of questions and there's answers, man. You just gotta be open minded to the truth. You see what I'm saying, and be able to handle shit, because a lot of times, you know, I guess like people, you know, that they can't handle this shit or whatever, you know, they think it's absurd or crazy, whatever, you know, whatever your reason may be, it is what it is. But yeah, man. I mean, I got way more stuff I can get into with y'all. If y'all are interested in this, you know what I'm saying, just leave me a comment, you know what I'm saying, a thumbs up or something, and let me know you like this, and I'll go back into this information and I'll get stuff more organized, you see what I'm saying, and then I'll go through and I'll read and I'll break down and explain to you what they mean, you know what I'm saying, like Bro Sanchez does an excellent job on exposing the occult over on his channel, you know, I made a video shouting him out a few weeks ago or whatever, but yeah, y'all check that man out, because I'm telling you, man, he's the one who taught me a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying. I always knew about sacred geometry and spirituality and meditation and all that stuff, you know, but as far as getting into like the etymology and the symbolism and stuff, like, you know, he taught me that stuff, and when you learn that stuff, y'all, I'm telling you, you'll just boom boom, once you get it, all the symbols, it just all makes sense. You'll be able to see buildings and be like, hey, I know why that's shaped like that, you know, I know why the tombstone is shaped like that. Tombstones, the womb stone, the pregnant belly, the flat earth cosmos, you see what I'm saying, like, yo, just stuff like that. You'll really understand the arch is the oldest architecture known to man, you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, for real, man, like, yo, fuck with me, man, like, yo, because it's the truth over here, you know what I'm saying. I learned from some of the best, straight up. So anyway, though, peace and love to all y'all out there, and like I said, man, let me know what y'all think. If y'all into this, I'll do more of this, I'll get a little bit more organized, and then we can go forward into the future. But yo, until then, take it easy, and so it is.